to Freedom and Wholeness Yoga, everyone. Good morning. And I'm so grateful that you guys all joined us today. And welcome, Facebook Livers. My name is Dr. Simone, and I wanted us to face north today. Oh, we have another person. Yay. I wanted us to face north today because today we're going to be honoring the element of water. Welcome, Naya. If you all get a chance later today or at some point this week, I posted a video on the intro of all the 5 elements so that you can seed in a little bit more of the background of what's behind this practice and the deeper meaning behind all the elements. But for this whole season, we're really going to be embodying and working mostly with the element of water because it's winter time. This is a seasonal practice, and so with each season, we're working with the energy that's present. And we have the gift of being in San Diego, so we get to do this outside during winter, which is awesome. But we are in this morning crispness, so you still get to kind of imbibe a little bit about what water is like, that freshness, that crisp, cool energy. The direction is north, the direction of the ancestors. So if there's somebody that you want to invite into your practice today, that's also a beautiful thing to honor. Now, the water element is really the start of life. If we think about where all life as we know it on this planet comes from, it kind of came from the water. In every molecule in our being, we're mostly made of water. We're mixed with water. We're sharing water through the air that we breathe. And there's memory there. When we think about where water lives in our body and the parts of the body that we're going to work with today, we're working with our bones, our bone energy, the strength of the foundation. We're working with our teeth, our head hair, and our psoas. Also, the whole of the back body. Has anybody here ever had back pain? Yeah, nobody, right? Nobody's ever had back pain. So, no matter who you are and at whatever age of life, you're confronted with what's behind you. The organs that are associated with filtering out the past and what is unconscious, subconscious in the past, these are your kidneys, your urinary bladder, your sexual reproductive organs, and these are our essential power organs. And as we work with these movements, we'll be focusing our breath into these organs as well, okay? Any questions for me before we begin? Cool. All right, so today we're going to be activating chi, getting to know what chi is, and then we're going to harness it, and then we're going to move it inwards into a meditation at the end. Does that sound good? Cool. Let's go ahead and get up. And then just bring your feet shoulder distance apart. Bring your weight more. Actually, first, just rock your weight back and forth. And then find that place that's not too much forward towards your toes and not too much back to where you feel like you're going to fall, that's right in the center. Once as you find center, bend your knees. And the first thing we're going to do is just shake. So use the knees like pistons here. Close your eyes and just let yourself flow. The shoulders are relaxed. Use as little muscular energy as possible. Relax your jaw. Shake your wrists out. You can even shake your neck a little bit if that feels good. Now start to activate your breath. Maybe let out some sighs. Isadora Duncan, one of the famous dancers in our era, she said, "You once were wild here. Don't let them tame you. Be like water. Water has no form unless we give it form. So just let yourself loose. Let yourself flow. Let yourself go." Awesome. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale yourself towards stillness, towards center. With your eyes closed, just feel all that. So as an acupuncturist, I get asked, what is qi? What you're feeling right now, this is qi, this is energy, life force moving through you. Does anybody feel any tingling or just new awarenesses? So stay in your center, just move your feet a little bit wider, maybe shoulder distance apart now. And with the soft bend in the knees, we're now going to twist from the hips. The arms are totally relaxed, letting gravity swing them side to side with you. And allow yourself to get curious about how much you can twist with little effort. And naturally, your hands are going to twist and gently massage where the kidneys are on the back as you go side to side. If you want to marry that sensation with an exhale, that can feel good. I actually just learned this the other day, that with your eyes closed and you're twisting side to side, you're actually allowing the iris to contract completely with the contrast of light and dark, which can sharpen your vision. Okay, one more breath here. And then inhale back into center. Just feel all that again. Stay internal. With your eyes closed, we're just going to bring our hands to our heart center, prayer mudra. Together, I'd like to chant. Feel free to clear your throat if you like. With any chant, it's call and response, and if you don't know the words, it's okay to just kind of hum into the energy of what we're chanting together. And here we can now bring our heart into the practice. So first together, let's take an Om. Big breath in. And then call and response. Sahana'u vavatu. Sahana'u bunaktu. Sahaviryam. Karavavahai. Tejasvi navadit. Tamastu. Mavid. Vishavavahai. Together, Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So this means, may we together be protected and nourished. May we work together with great energy, and may our study together be brilliant and effective. And may we never dispute or quarrel with one another. Om, peace, peace, peace. Beautiful. All right, let's move our chi. So together, reach your arms up. Most of you have a block. If you want to use the block, you can put it between the knees, feet hip distance apart, and squeeze the block here between your knees. You'll notice here that your outer legs become engaged as you squeeze. And then with a deep inhale, bring the arms upwards, pinky forward. And as you exhale, open the mouth, bend deep into the knees, squeeze those elbows behind you. And we're just going to do that with our breath. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale at your own pace. Breathe all the way into your lower lobes of your lungs, into your kidneys. Exhale, open the mouth, and really let the roots of the kidneys out through the tongue. Few more breaths. You should start to be getting warm here. Big inhale, reach up. Exhale, interlace the hands behind you. Squeeze the elbows and then lift the heart. And as you exhale, just hinge forward and take a gentle fold. Bending your knees any amount here. And then just check in with your head. Tuck the chin so there's no tension in the neck. If you want to bend one knee and then the other, loosening up the back of the hammies. And just like we did before at the beginning of class, bring your weight towards your toes for a moment, and then bring your weight towards your heels. And just notice with that small movement of calibrating towards where center is, you can really adjust the amount of sensation that's going on in the back body, right? Find your sweet spot. Find that place where you can breathe into a place of surrender, into a place of more softness. And we're just here for 3 more breaths. Awesome. And then go ahead and release your hands down. With soft bending knees, navel pulls in, just roll all the way to standing. As your head comes up last, roll the shoulders onto the back. And now we'll be doing an exercise from Qigong called Picking Up the Moon. So feet are still hip distance apart. And if you want to watch me first, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a bowl of our energy. And you can bend your knees here, keeping soft through the bones. As you inhale, we're slowly going to pick up our energy. And imagine here there is some weight. So feel your muscles in your arms engaged to the bones. I'm tucking my tailbone under just to support that weight as I come into the heart. And as you come into the heart, you kind of want to do this tricky flip thing. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys love Indiana Jones like I used to, where he did the quick switch. You're doing that. And then notice you want to try to get your palms to face the sky as soon as possible. I'm keeping the knees bent as I'm pushing and exhaling all the way to the heavens. Push out through the wrists. And when you get to the top, come onto your toes, gathering the moon and then inhaling, and then exhaling, coming down. Follow the hands with your gaze so the chin chucks. And then rolling down through the spine, we're going to fold. The water. And then use the legs here. Imagine the water is very heavy as we come back to the beginning. Okay? So we'll do that together. Bending the knees, tucking the tail. Take a moment to fill your bowl with energy. And then inhale, begin drawing the energy up the front of the body, up the kidney channel, into the heart. Exhale, push, push, push your energy towards the heavens. Coming onto the toes, inhale, capturing the moon. Exhale, slowly bringing it down towards the waters. Rolling through the spine as you come to the ground. Reach out and then around. Picking up the water, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, toes. Exhale, rolling down. Exhale. Inhale, toes. Exhale, rounding down. Exhale. Inhale, toes. Exhale. Gather. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. We're going to bring our left hand over the belly, then the right, and then 3 clockwise circles, and then 3 circles counterclockwise. And with your eyes closed, just root into your bones. Just feel your body, feel where you are in space. Maybe the eyes stay closed. Bring your feet to touch. And then inhale, reach your hands up into Tadasana, mountain pose. As you're here, start to become aware of your feet and pull the mat apart. Awesome. And then top, bring your big toes to touch. Yeah. Let that be an anchor as you pull the feet apart. Awesome. And now as you pull the feet apart, can you feel those outer hips engage? Yeah. Now I want you to root down through the inner arches of your feet really strongly. You'll feel the tailbone tuck just slightly, right? Keeping that engagement, see if you can reach another inch up towards the sky. Go higher than you think you can go. And now melt the shoulders away from your ears and see if you can knit the lower ribs inward. Awesome. Here you are a strong mountain, and it's a lot of work to root into your bones. Every muscle right now is hugging inward and outward into full engagement. If we think about our bones, this is the part of us that's left over even after what we know of as ourself and our consciousness leaves our body. So this is the memory that we're creating. People can study your bones and know how much weight you carried in this world, what you ate, where you lived, all these things. Fill yourself up with whatever it is that you would like to bring in for 2020. Fill that into your bones. Channel that into this, what will be beyond you, the vastness that is you. Can I touch you? Yes. And then pull these guys in. Aha. Take one more big breath in. I know you guys are working hard. As you exhale, just let it all go. Flop around onto the earth. Shake out your head. Shake out your legs. Good. Just let all that engagement out for a second. Awesome. All right. Let's bring our hands underneath the shoulders onto the ground, and then just step back into high plank position. So top of a push-up here. Again, just feeling into our bones in another direction. Here, we're still using that same concept of pulling the low ribs in and pushing out from all the limbs. Gaze down so that the back of the neck is long. Deep breath in, out through the nose now. So good. One more breath. And then exhale, come into down dog. Bring the tailbone high, V shape in the body. Take a deep right knee. And then the left. Pedal it out a couple more times at your own pace. Really nice. And then keeping your knees bent any amount so that the tailbone remains super high, we're going to inhale the right leg up. Here, gaze at your left knee and steer the kneecap all the way forward so that that outer left hip tacks up. If you need to sacrifice the height of that right leg, that's okay. Awesome. And we're going to be here a couple breaths. Feel the stretch in the left leg. So turn this knee all the way forward. Yeah. And then, so good. Awesome, Tracy, you got it. Beautiful. Deep inhale. And then exhale, round your right knee towards your chest. Bring the foot all the way to the top of the mat. And this is a super secret yogi move, don't tell anybody. But if your foot is all the way back here, just inch it up until the right heel is underneath the knee, and then bring the left knee down. This is where the blocks can really be your friend. You can bring them underneath your hands. And all we're doing here is leaning our weight over this right thigh, tucking the chin, and surrendering down over this right leg. Good. The more you can let the weight of your head release downward, the more you'll feel the sacrum release. We're now bringing our attention to the psoas, the muscle that is one of our hip flexors, but it also attaches and cups around the kidneys to the low back. This is often called our flight or fight muscle. So as you lean your weight forward, just breathe into the front of this left hip and let the psoas know it's okay to let go. For the next couple breaths, contract your left knee towards your right heel for a little bit more sensation, if that feels good to you. If not, just hang out. Awesome. Inhale to your fingertips. Push out through the hands, and we're going to bring the weight onto our left knee as we flex the right foot. Coming into half Hanumanasana. You can bend this right knee any amount. Your right big toe towards your sternum. And with that engagement, keeping the spine long, start to hinge from the hips. If you don't move very far into a fold, that's okay. Use your breath to continue to find some length through the spine. You can use the blocks on either side of you for support. Everybody looks really good. Is it okay to touch you? Feed your breath into your back body, into your kidneys, and then allow that inhale to travel into your heart to find the surrender. Always lead with the heart. Great. Inhale, slowly bring the weight back to your hands. And then come back into our down dog, pushing back into a V shape. Take a moment to take inventory of any differences in the legs. And then when you're ready, inhale, left leg up. Gaze your right knee. And just make sure the right knee is facing forward. Encouraging that right outer hip to tack backwards and upwards. Is it okay to touch you, Robin? Spread your hands out. Yes. And even this one. So that your middle fingers face forward in parallel. And now weave these shoulders in. Beautiful breath, everyone. And then exhale, knee towards the nose, plant the foot at the top of the mat. Using that secret yogi move if you need it, so that ankle is stacking underneath the knee. And then as you pull your weight forward, let the torso rest on top of the thigh. Notice the stretch now, and then notice the Did anybody feel the difference there? Right? Tracy, a little bit more love. Awesome. Good, and then use the inhale to push off from the ground. We're coming into half Hanumanasana, straightening through the left leg. Use the blocks beside you if you like. Flexing through the left big toe. Inhale the heart forward. And use this right leg, push down to really push this right hip forward, and then exhale, hinge. Awesome. Todd, is it okay to touch you?
Mm-hmm.
So, see how this foot is kind of going off a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Try and flex it, and then, yeah.
Okay.
And that'll get the hamstring evenly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then, Crystal, notice how your foot is coming outward a little bit? Yeah. So, yes, push through evenly all four corners and then flex up. And I would even bring this foot forward a little bit for you. Yeah. It's different, right? Super, yeah. Big inhale, everyone. You're doing awesome. Exhale, bring the weight back to your left foot, bend the knee, step back into down dog. Once as you get to down dog, do any movements that just helps you recalibrate to your center and to your core, and notice the body. Leg up. And as you exhale, gaze at your right hand and bring your right foot all the way next to your right hand. Now gaze back at your left big toe and bring your heel where your left big toe is. And we're coming into Vajrasana 1. As you lift the torso, bring your hands onto your hips. I'm actually going to take this off so you guys can see. Okay. I actually like to get a little ghetto booty for a second in Warrior 1 to help me steer this left hip forward. And then we're going to pull the pit of the abdomen up. And you'll notice that this back foot wants to roll forward. Ground into the outer edge of your foot a lot. Keeping the bend in the right knee, reach the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Use the intelligence of your bones to stabilize you here. And just like in Tadasana, where we were reaching up to the sky but relaxing the shoulders, feed your pinky fingers forward to help you hug the muscles to the bone and find some length through the upper body. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, interlace the hands behind you, squeeze the elbows, lift the heart. Exhale into humble warrior. As you fold any amount, tuck your chin and reach the hands towards the sky. In this pose, we honor the back body and we humble the top of our head, our highest point, towards the ground to acknowledge all that is unknown to us, to give ourselves into the vastness of what is beyond our consciousness, into the subconscious, the unconscious, the divine will, the greater plan that unfolds without us having to do anything. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands to frame the foot and just step back, down dog. Awesome. Is it okay to touch you? And inhale, left leg high. Exhale, look at your left hand, bring the foot to your left hand. Gaze at the right big toe and bring your right heel where the right big toe was. And then when you're coming up, hands to hips. Get a little ghetto booty if that helped you. And then steer this right hip square to the top of your mat. Pushing down through that outer edge of the foot. Lift the pit of the abdomen. Lift the arms. Virabhadrasana 1. Nice. And then, Crystal, send those back toes towards me a little bit more. I know. Even more. And that's going to help you bring this hip around. Good. Awesome. And Todd, if you want to bring your left foot left by a few inches, and that will give your hips a little bit more alignment. Yeah. Good. Inhale, exhale, interlace, and as you do so, maybe offer the opposite hand on top, squeezing elbows, inhale the heart up, exhale, hinge forward any amount, humble warrior. The last bit of surrender here is tucking the chin to the chest. Giving up where we think how we move is from our brain a lot of times. How does it feel to move from your bones, to feel completely supported by your own strength and by the ground beneath you, by that which is given to you? This is the will of the kidney energy. We are given all that we need. Acknowledging that with your breath in this moment. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, down dog. If it feels good to let out a sigh, let out a sigh. And then inhale, come into high plank. Exhale, just come all the way onto the ground if you want to come to your knees. Cool. Lift the heart off the ground to cobra pose. Hands can stay underneath or lift them lightly. Lengthen the back of the neck. The glutes down through the pinky toes, lengthening the tail. More inhale. And then exhale, come onto the left cheek, beside you, palms up. And just relax, release, and reset here for a moment. Beautiful. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Press your pinky toes down into the hands, actually right by your low ribs. And inhale, we're going to start rolling one shoulder at a time, all the way until you come to a place of comfort, opening up the chest, lift the heart. And as you exhale, roll all the way down, one shoulder at a time. So you're And then when you're done that second one, arms beside you, palms up. Relax and release. So good, everyone. We're gonna find child's pose next. How I like to get your hands under shoulders, push your hips to your heels, and then just arms can be forward beside, whatever feels good. Just use this opportunity again to bring awareness to your kidneys and breathe there. Okay, we're gonna set up for breath work. If you have a blanket or a bolster that you'd like to put underneath your knees, we're gonna find our way onto our back. And we're just gonna do 2 rounds of the breath work here so that you can get acquainted with it. And as we continue the practice, we'll start to build the breath work a little bit more. Okay? How you guys doing? Does anybody need anything? Do you guys have enough support? Okay. So, once as you find your way on your back, I'm just going to walk you through. The breath work is inhaling through the nose and the mouth at the same time. And then we inhale into all 3 parts. And as you exhale, you just exhale completely. We do that for 40 times in a row. And then we hold the breath out we'll probably go to 1 minute. And then when we breathe again, I'll just tell you when to breathe. We breathe all the way in and hold up. The perineum pulls up, the eyes look up, and then we exhale and begin again, okay? So on your back, let's first acquaint ourselves with the 3 major compartments to fill the breath.